Hello and welcome to the show. Thaikkudam Bridge, a rock band from Kerala, is in the news lately. The 15-member band performed in Bengaluru and kept the audience engaged from start to finish on Saturday. But Thaikkudam Bridge is in the news for other reasons as well. They've accused the makers of the blockbuster film Kantara of plagiarizing one of their songs. They have filed two lawsuits to ensure that the song Varaha Roopam is not part of the movie Kantara. So, what exactly is the controversy? And what does the band eventually want? Well, to talk more about it, I have Vian Fernandes, the bassist and the rapper of the band, to talk more about it. Hello, Vian. Welcome to the Federal.
Hi, thank you.
Uh, Vian, I'd like to talk about what happened on Saturday here in Bengaluru. You opened your performance in Bengaluru with the song Navarasam. Was it intentional? Was it to convey a message? What really happened? What was the intention behind it?
So we have been starting the show, opening the show with Navrasam for a long time. So it's not like we did it just after this controversy or nothing like that. Navrasam has been one of the most important tracks, and it's a perfect opening track for a concert, for a show. So we've been doing that. It's just that the entire vibe and the intensity now, after the controversy, has changed. So the way that people look and listen to the song has been quite different from how it was before. So that's the only difference. Or else Navrasam has been the first song, the opening track. Yeah.
Uh, Vian, we've heard Navarasam as well as Varaha Roopam. Uh, as a band member, somebody who's created the music, do you think that Varaha Roopam is completely plagiarized or is part of the song plagiarized from Navarasam?
First of all, there's a lot of confusion happening when there are two parties online who are arguing like, hey, nahi hai, like it is similar, it is not similar. All of that is happening. But what people need to understand is, first of all, plagiarism is not only uh, about the notes or the melody, because that is what everybody is focusing about. But it is also got to do with the concept and the idea. Here, what has happened is if you go from part to part, it's got to do mainly with the arrangement, the riffs, then the style, the instruments that have been used, and the overall feel of the song. So, if it was maybe just like a small little part that is sounding similar, it's okay. That happens in music. We all are inspired from different artists, and that flavor is always seen. And it's not a new thing. Like all the artists are very familiar about this thing. But here, what is happening is it's very clear, right from the solo, right from the rhythm pattern, the arrangement, the feel, the treatment of the song. And that is what we are talking about over here. So a lot of videos are being made on how the ragam is different, how the notes are different, how the melodies are different. They're giving tutorials over the whole thing, but that's not what it is all about. You need to go deeper, you need to understand what it is more.
Uh, Vian, Kantara released on September 30th, and it took you guys quite a few weeks for you to, file a case. And you filed a case a few weeks later. Was it because you guys got to know about it much later, or did you guys think about it, and or did the success of Kantara force you to go ahead and say, no, let's go ahead and fight it out legally? What really transpired there?
So what happened is, first of all, we are super busy doing concerts. After the lockdown, we have been packed, so it's been a lot of travel, back-to-back shows, on the top working on our projects and all. We definitely do not have the time to go to the theater and watch the movie. So we got to know from the fans, from the other listeners and the viewers that okay, so a lot of people first of all thought that the music is by Thaikkudam Bridge when they went for the movie. And that was the reason why they started commenting on the Navrasam video on our YouTube channel. And that's when we first got to know that, okay, something like this is happening. Still, we were busy with our work and all when there were so many messages, calls, and comments flooding in. Then we looked into it. Even after we found similarities, we as musicians took time to understand another musician. to understand the place where it came from, to understand the story, what was happening behind the scene. Then we got to know certain things from the inside, and only after that we took the decision. I know that a lot of people are saying that, oh, why did you wait all this while? Just when the movie got famous, now you want money, now you want fame, you want attention. Thaikkudam Bridge had that all this while. We don't need that extra attention or that extra money, or it's not about money. We are talking about credits. Money part has been talking, that's something to do with Mathrubhumi because they hold the rights to the song. The band is asking on the creative side. So it's a different story that has been going around online of why did you wait all this while just to capitalize on when the movie made it big and all. No, it's not that. It's about like if my brother has done something, I first need to take out that time because he's my brother to understand his side. So, as musicians, that is what we were doing to understand that side. There was a conversation between the music director and Govind. Only after some things that we were confirmed about, we knew about from the inside, that's when we decided to take this step.
I'm sorry for my ignorance. Could you elaborate as to who Govind is?
Govind is the music director, and he plays the violin and also the vocalist of the band. So he
Okay.
also does. He's the music director for the movie '96. So he understands how the movie scene works. You know how the music director has certain requirements, certain flavors that he needs in a particular song, and a music director has to go with the film director, like hand in hand. So it's not that music director always has the freedom of what he wants to do, and he has to go by the script, by the feel of the movie, and all of that. So that was the conversation, and we know what is the story behind all of it. So we were very sure about what we need to do after that.
Okay, so now the reason I ask you this question is, okay, there are a lot of people. I'll get to that much later as to who's mentioning and who's saying what. But there are a lot of people felt that as musicians, you could have approached the makers of Kantara and sorted this issue out instead of taking the legal course. But now you just mentioned to me that Govind, who's one of the band members as well as a music director, spoke to the team at Kantara. Was it Ajneesh Loknath or whom did he get in touch with? So this is new to me. Could you tell me more about it?
Yeah. So it's not that we got in touch with them, they got in touch with us. So they knew that something was happening. Okay. They knew that the whole conversation was more about, that Navarasam definitely was the track that was used as um, for how do you put it across? Reference. It was the reference track for the movie. The director was very clear that he wanted something that sounded like Navrasam. What they did over here is they made it sound almost like Navrasam, not like Navrasam. So that is the thing. So we were in talking terms with the legal team and Mathrubhumi and all of it when we got to know about this. And it's not that we did not take our time to understand their side and what is the real story and all of those things. So when they had a conversation, it was very clear, and that's when we knew that we had to take a step. But we took our time. It's not that we jumped to a conclusion that, oh, they did this, let us put a case against them. No, that's not how it works. First of all, for an independent band and for such a big production house, this it's not that easy for us to do it. So we had to understand what are going to be the consequences, how are we going to fight this, and what is the main objective behind it. So people are only talking about who are defending Kantara, they're talking about money, they're talking about fame. But there is more to this side about an independent band voicing out, which has not happened before. Because you need a legal team, you need a lot of strength to go against a big production house. And we are starting something that has to be carried forward by other musicians also, because this is not the first time. If you talk about the music director, I think he's in love with Thaikkudam Bridge because he has done this before. There's a video called One by Thaikkudam Bridge, which is a beautiful song and it has a beautiful music video. The film director has made another uh, music video, which is quite similar to one. So it's not the first time. If you go to the comment section now, people have been talking about that music video. But I don't think we want to go around getting. There are a lot of talks like how the whole concept of Navrasam has been taken and made to Kantara. But let's not get into all of those things. People can talk what they want to talk and all. Our focus is just the music. As musicians, we want to just focus on that. And that is what we are talking and calling that the due credits should be given to us.
So what you're saying is one of your band members, Govind, spoke to the music director and they discussed issues about the music, being plagiarized and all of that. When what you're trying to say is when the makers of Kantara refused to give you the credits, that is when your team decided or your band decided to take the legal route. Is that correct? Would that be right?
They never spoke about credits, first of all. So when he spoke to Govind, it was on friendly terms of try to understand a music director to a music director, let this go. That was the pitch. And I don't think the film guys or anyone asked him to talk or something. He was just doing it on a personal basis to just solve it, keep it calm, just try to understand what and all. And but then when he went for an interview, it was a totally different. He did say that he's inspired from Thaikkudam Bridge and all of that, but the real conversation was not out. And it's very sweet of Govind that he also did not let it out in any of the interviews and anything. But when you go out on an interview and you say that, a different story altogether, a different pitch, then it's very important for us also to come out with what actually happened.
So you're talking about the music director Ajnish Loknath or
Yes.
Rishab Shetty? Ajnish Loknath.
Ajnish Loknath, yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to quote from an interview that I read before coming for this interview. And so let me just phrase this question this way, all right? There are many opinions about the ragas used in both the songs. While Sai Vignesh, the singer of the song, says that both the ragas are different, well-known singer Srinivas observed that both the songs are based on Mela Karta ragas, the 72 Mel Karta system. So he's asked if both of you guys are going to give royalty to the relatives of the founders of Mela Karta ragas. So what is your take on this?
Nice. It's very nice that they made these statements and all of it, but that is what I started this entire interview
Correct.
with, that plagiarism is also about the concept. You can't just talk about ragas, and it's not that this is happening for the first time. This has been happening for a long time. Music directors have done this and got away with it. And that is where we want to have a change. That is where we want to say that, yes, an independent band can do this and can fight for it. It doesn't matter whether we win this or whether we lose, because I think we have already won by having that step of going against them and putting it out there in the open, and that this has been done to us. So it's already a win situation for us. And it's not also about people talking about views, about, oh, you wanted your YouTube views. It's not even on our channel. It's on Mathrubhumi's channel, and it already had 4 lakh views. A.R. Rahman had shared Navarasam. The drummer of Lamp of God had commented on Navarasam. Kamal Hassan had shared Navarasam. So it was not that we were hungry for promotion. We have a new album, Nama, which needs more light, which needs more attention. Why Navarasam? It's been 2015 that we released Navarasam. So, yeah.
All right. You filed one case and then you backed it up with another case. The second one in Palkad, if I'm correct. So, so what do both the cases ask for, and what has been the response from the makers?
I really don't know what is the response from the makers, because as a band member and as a band, right now I'm in Goa. I just got done with a show yesterday. Day before we were in Bangalore. We were done with a festival over there. We are super busy. We don't have time to be behind this entire scene, and that's not what gives us pleasure. Being on stage, being on road, creating more music. We have a new music video coming up, which is really super crazy. That is what our focus. That is what our attention as a band, and our goals are very clear. This fighting thing is not our agenda. The team, the legal team is looking into it. Mathrubhumi is looking into it. And we are super grateful to them for all the support and all what is required with the legal procedures. And they are looking into that. As a band, our focus is music, and we would really love to just stick to that. All the other aspects of the interviews, about the statements, about the press and all, yes, we are taking care of it, because as band members we have to be vocal about it. But other than that, the team is doing their job and we are just doing our job. We are just focusing on the music.
Vian, I'll get to your band and your next project, but I just have a couple of more questions before I get to that.
Yeah, sure.
Now, okay, you've already answered this question, but I'd still like to, repeat myself. What is it that you actually want from the makers of Kantara? Is it monetary compensation, or is it credits, or is it acknowledgement that yes, this was inspired or plagiarized from Navarasam? What is it that you actually want? You and Mathrubhumi, because they are like the owners of the song, right? So if you can elaborate.
Yeah. So first of all, as a creative person, as a director, it's not that you did not find the similarities. It's very clear that you did. Okay, the least what you could do is talk to the band and say this is the scene. And I think the whole band would be super supportive about understanding from the creative aspect, and we would talk, and it would be done in a very peaceful manner where they would give us a credit or a mention in the movie, and the band would be super happy. Like, it just, even if like inspired from uh, Thaikkudam Bridge, or buy the copyrights and get it done. That's how everyone is done. Like, we have a series on Netflix who have got in touch with us, taken songs from the albums and all. So it's not the first time that songs have been used, but it's done in the legal way. It's done with the procedure. It's done with the consent of the band. Here, what has happened is, first you do it, then you deny it. Okay. And then you back it up with the ragas and all of that. And also, that's where, first of all, you need to get the understanding of that it's not just about the ragas, it's more than that. And be truthful to yourself when you talk about the ragas and all. Be truthful about, do you find yourself clean enough to say all the statements? You can always talk about bigger things to the world, to the audience, about how clean it is, it's not copied and all, but how do you feel inside as a creative, as a musician, as a director, as a creative person? There's a voice inside you, and that voice will do the talking till the end. So that's one thing. What the band wants over here is the credits. Mathrubhumi, definitely they would want the monetization part, but that's on them. The legal team and the team, they'll decide on them, on that part. The band is very clear about the credits. You acknowledge our work, you give us the due credits, because it's not fair to us, it's not fair to any artist. So we are doing this not only for us, we are doing this for the whole independent scene, that they also should not be going through anything like this. And not every independent band has the support and the team to fight against. So, but it does not mean that you cannot fight. What is happening over here is the production team and everyone thinks that with the money, with the power, and with the place that they are at, they can do it and they can get away with it. That's what they probably thought. What is going to happen? But here is the thing, that after we doing this, there's always going to be Kantara. After Kantara, there is always going to be following Thaikkudam Bridge, Navarasam, that this was the scene that happened with Kantara. If you would actually wanted it to be clean, you could have done it in a very nice way. But then, yeah, you did not have the courtesy to even call the band. Not once they have actually called the band. The director has not once called the band and spoken to us. We are all humans. We could always understand this side of each other, but you do not want to do that. I don't know why did the music director personally got to Govind and had that conversation. That's a different story. But you could always get in touch with us. And I think all the band members are sweet enough to understand, and we would lovingly actually work it out. But then that was not the case.
In fact, you've actually answered my next, the answer to my next question. So I'll move on. I'll move on to what I was going to ask. So tell us about Thaikkudam Bridge. What kind of music? I know you're a rock band, but tell us more. We would like to hear more about you guys.
So, Thaikkudam Bridge was formed in 2013, wherein it was a part of Kappa TV Music Mojo, and it was a one-time shoot, and we got done. Later on, when the videos were up on YouTube, we got viral, and then we decided, oh, do we want to do shows? And everyone was like, okay, cool, let's do shows. And since then, it's been a beautiful journey of more than 500 shows, 23 countries, and we have been traveling and living music, and the love that we have received is crazy. So we have been doing rock music, but it's with the culture. It's the South Indian culture, the Carnatic culture that we are infusing, even the Hindustani culture. So we have Hindustani singers, Carnatic singers, and also we have been covering songs. We are famous for covering other famous hits from Rahman sir, Ilaiyaraaja sir, and so we have been adding our own flavor to those songs too. At the same time, we have done two full-length albums. The first one was Navarasam, the second is Nama. In the second album, we have done a collaboration with legendary artists all across the world, and it's been a beautiful album. You should listen to it, and everyone else also should listen to it. So that's what we have been doing. We have been known for the rock and Karnataka flavor mixed fusion
Okay,
together.
so again, once again, I'm sorry for my ignorance. When is Namaha releasing, or has it released, or when is it releasing?
Nama is already out. All the tracks
Okay.
are on all the online platforms. Yeah, it's already out. What is coming up is a new music video from a track from Nama, which is Neeli, and we recently shot it, and the edit work is done. So in a few days, that's gonna be out. So it's gonna be a treat for everyone, for all the fans, for all the listeners.
All right. So, well, I was born and raised in Bangalore, Bengaluru, and even though no matter what, if you're born and raised in Bangalore, you always get to hear a little bit of, rock and metal. That's Bangalore is like the rock capital of India. So I've heard a few metal bands and all of that. So uh, I'll ask you this question: who's your favorite band, and where do you get your inspiration from?
For all the band members, like I'm not going to talk personally over here, but then on behalf of Thaikkudam Bridge, I think everyone really looked up to Avyal because Avyal as a band got a new sounding out there back then, and that was a very inspiring moment for all of them. So they all grew up listening to Avyal. So now that whenever we do festivals, Avyal and Thaikkudam Bridge performs together, everyone is very happy and excited that, as kids whom we looked up to, now we are sharing the stage with them. So I think Avyal would be the answer, a common answer among all the band members. If you talk about India, and as you said about Bangalore, Bangalore has been uh, one of the favorite cities for Thaikkudam Bridge to perform. We have had many shows. I think after Kerala, if there is a place that we love performing, maximum shows has been in Bangalore. At the beginning, it was literally like 4 shows in a month and all, where we had to take a call key. Okay, I think we have to slow down on Bangalore and let's reduce the number of shows because we are doing way too many shows. But the Bangalore audience has always been supportive and really, really loving. And this show, the last show, really proved that on another level to us because we had threats. We had online threats of if you come to Bangalore, you will not go alive and all of that, which we replied very smoothly with a lot of love. Because I don't blame the people commenting also. If you love something, you're trying to defend it. The movie is beautiful. Kantara is a beautiful movie. Nothing about that. And people from Bangalore really love it. So they would definitely defend it. But at the show, what we saw was a very different side. I did not meet any single one who was really against us. 4,000, 5,000 people for the concert at Indigaga Festival. I met hundreds of them after the show, and it was all positive. They understood and they said, "We are really sorry and we are with you." And thank you so much to all the Bangalore fans. Like that really means a lot to us.
All right. My last concluding question, Vian. So, what are the future plans for Thaikkudam Bridge? I mean, let's not talk about the controversy. I'm talking about the band as such. So how do you, what vision do you have for the band?
We, even though we have performed in so many countries, had many tours and all, we are really looking out more to reach out to the international scene to play more festivals. Because I really think that's one element that Thaikkudam Bridge holds. Because in the international scene, they do want metal and rock music to be there, but they want the culture infused with them, with the rock music. So that what sets us apart. So even though the rock influence is there, the culture is really strongly infused with the rock music. And we would really love to go and explore as many festivals and play many shows and have more larger audience in terms of, we call it Be the Bridge family. So, and the best part about Thaikkudam Bridge is it's not just the young generation, or it's not that. It's like the smaller little kids. We have videos coming in of 2-year-old, 1-year-old dancing to our songs, and even 60-year-old, 70-year-old coming for shows and listening to all the beautiful melodies. So it's always a blend of the beautiful melodies to the heavy set list. So we need to deliver to a larger audience, and we would love to increase that more and more and more, and have a bigger family all across the globe for years to come. And hope this continues and there's more music. And we are working on an EP of 4 originals, so that will be out soon. So that's the focus for now.
All right, Vian, I hope all your dreams come true and I wish you the very best. It was wonderful talking to you. Thank you for your time, Vian.
Thank you so much, and it was beautiful talking to you too. Thank you.